It is F1 season, and man, while those race cars are fast, the callout, expose, and deletion of this account is even faster. Sorry, that was a really cringe intro, but let's get into this. And don't send hate to any parties involved. So this is the callout mate in question, and OP writes, ex-Gojo lover, which not my boy Gojo, is using AI to make their F1 art, by the way. So here are some examples of the artwork this Gojo Lover account posted. So this is a screenshot of their Procreate where you can see on the left-hand side, you kind of have like a more close-up of what their piece is, and on the right-hand side, this is their piece. They write, some studies are Franco Colapinto. Pronunciation's not my strong suit, guys, I'm sorry. Next up, we have the latest Lando art, Lando Norris, and we have the Prince and the Frog, Landoscar fan art, because they're both dry for McLaren. So OP says, 3 wildly different art styles and skill levels between each piece, several rendering inconsistencies and outline fragments, art styles commonly utilized by Gen AI, making up illogical stuff from the reference. So if you look back at the art styles here, we're looking at these pictures because you already know the account's deleted, but these are 3 very different art styles, actually. This one is like an art style you would see in, like, if you read contemporary romance, it's a popular art style that, you know, you would find on a contemporary romance book cover, but like a lot of artists also kind of draw like this. It has a more like watercolory vibe, a lot of pastels used in the background, a lot of pinks and purples, things like that. The second one now, the art style is a lot more different. There's a lot more like floating elements into it. It has a level of realism that also looks like it's color pencil drawn. It is drawn in Procreate, so this is not done by a color pencil, but it looks like it uses some sort of like kind of like grainy, a lot more textures you would find in this one. This again is a different art style. This is looking very, very smooth, very like semi-realistic. The pastels and stuff are gone. The things floating around are gone. And again, if you're an artist, don't take this personally, right? Like artists experiment with art styles all the time. Just because you experiment with an art style doesn't mean you used AI between one piece or another. It's just one thing amongst the multitude of things that we're looking at. Because to see artists with fully solidified art styles, you don't often see them have another fully solidified other art style that is somewhat similar but also somewhat not similar. Like, you know, typically they'll be like kind of different, right? Like this semi-realistic style, another semi, but this one just is again different with a lot more textures. And this one's completely different again. And if we look, there's already some elements that's a bit interesting with the artwork. One thing that you will find with AI is the hair will loop, you know, in those like loopy circles. And we have that with Franco's hair. It's coming out and then back in as if it comes out and connects back in the same spot. It happens again here too. So, you know, maybe if it happened one time, it could be an accident or something. But here it goes out and then straight back into nowhere again. There's some strands of hair that are like quite short, and then some strands like this strand that's very long. Already looking a bit unbalanced, a bit interesting. The hair inconsistencies, etc. And this one, again, maybe we can give benefit of doubt here, or maybe there's again something maybe more nefarious going on, right? We have like this one thumb with the thumbnail very rendered out, you know, they're like holding an item of some sort, like a helmet, and the hand is like you know, roughly in frame too at the same distance. It's not like one hand is like way further away, so it's less rendered because you don't need the detail anymore. And then the stars in the background, they look like artifacts. We have, okay, this one's like a 5-pointed star, right? Then we this one, it's this one. What's this one? And then you look here, and then the hair is once again doing some oddities. We do have a reference photo here where you can see, you know, his hair is like tapered upwards, and then he has the curls on the top. So what's happening over here with this type of like wobbling? Again, normally on one glance it would be like, oh, maybe benefit of doubt, like it was, you know, intentional by the artist, you know, maybe it was an accident, whatever. But then like take into account the art style is also very different between these two pieces. And then we have this one where the art style looks even more different. And again, this piece features some oddities that like you take a look at it and you're like, this is a bit interesting. Two very different looking eyes. Very different looking eyes. And like, you know, again, we all make mistakes when we draw stuff like that. If you render to this capability, typically the eyes would look a lot more even, I feel. It's just a bit interesting. A close-up of the sleeve where they say 3 of these sponsors don't exist. I mean, you would think if you're drawing fan art of F1 driver you really like, you would draw the correct jersey. And this is, again, something that you would see with AI artists, right? Artists, quotes, AI, people who generate work with AI. But that's a very mouthy thing to say. But you know what I mean, right? Like, you would typically look at reference photos and try to get it kind of close. Another one here is like just complete nonsense and so many inconsistencies. What even is he supposed to be signing? And that is this thing that I genuinely am really curious about. What is your guess here? Because here in the reference photo, He's signing what looks like a baseball cap, okay? What is this? A helmet? Zooming in doesn't actually help at all. Let me zoom out again. Like, this way, when it's facing you, it looks like it's like a football helmet, right? It looks like it's a football helmet, but there's no mouth guard that you would see in the front with a football helmet. And then there's all this stuff at the bottom that looks like it should be a baseball cap, but that can't be possible because there's a gap here. But then what's all this, like, this is that, but then why didn't you make this into a baseball cap? Because it looks like it's supposed to be one. You know, all the other stuff, it's like, okay, like human error, right? That would be your first assumption. But then you look at this and you're like, this is just not something a human would draw. It just does not make sense. Next up, fragments in the sponsors and hair, rendering inconsistencies. The neck shadow is weirdly blended, hair flyaways are off-putting, blue framing is a different rendering style, brightest shine on hair comes from random direction. So here we have, you know, all the elements they're highlighting here. Some of these I would maybe pass off as like benefit of doubt, right? Like, you know, the bright shine over here, it's coming from a different section than like this highlight, which is coming from the other side, you know, but like benefit of doubt, some artists in their art styles, they like adding shine in places, you know, so maybe a little bit of cheek highlight, a little bit of highlight here, even though that's not really where the light is coming from. It's just an artistic choice. But again, then you would see this artist have like some other work where they just do this in all of their work. So you just be like, oh, okay, this is their art style. But you know, we just looked at two other art pieces of theirs and they just don't do it in those pieces at all. Because again, if you look at this rendering style is completely different than the other one we just saw. And Manza adds, oh, and this is less damning evidence, but the constant use of screenshots or IRL photos of a screen to hide quality inconsistencies or texture fragments is another sign of somebody attempting to hide AI usage. And some more I forgot. What are these white blobs? The shadow behind the hair is a different value from the rest of the drawing. Also, not even go into how many fragments and inconsistent textures there are in the hair. Maybe benefit of doubt flowers or like dandelion fluff, but literally what is this supposed to be? What is like a scoop of ice cream? Interesting. Again, maybe benefit of doubt if you draw this in all of your pieces as part of your art style, but it's not because their other piece looks so different. Disclaimer, they've since deleted their post after my call out was made. And there's screenshots where Gojo Lover says, what a bummer, you spend your time making a drawing and they tell you it's AI. And then in replies, they say, it's just that I got bummed out because they told me my work is AI. Okay. But this gets so funny, guys, because let's play a game. When a AI artist gets called out for using AI, what are they gonna do? One, delete everything. Two, claim they didn't use AI, play the victim and pin everything on the person who originally called them out. Or four, fake an art process to make it seem like it's legit. We're gonna go with number four. OP adds, updates. Gojo is attempting to prove they did not use AI, but it's incredibly obvious they just traced the first image. Their line art and color blocking is significantly less consistent and does not match the original image. Dude, look at this. Oh my lord. Okay. Look at the side. These are not the same drawings. And like a lot of times when somebody's trying to prove the fact that they like didn't use AI and whether they did or didn't, right? They'll like toggle off some layers, whatever. This is not the same drawing. If we break this up, one, the hair rendering is not the same. Look at this. It's like a comma, a diamond, and another little comma, diamond, comma, another highlight inside the hair swoosh that wasn't there before. There's no shadow here anymore. So I'm guessing maybe if there isn't a shadow, maybe it's because it's like a work in progress, hypothetically, right? So not all the layers are visible yet. But there's just some things that are just different, right? There's an extra highlight here. Odd. The background brushstrokes are not the same. This guy in the background is also not the same. Also, what is happening with the headset? Like, the headset has like a little pink thing and it's just missing here. This isn't like a midpoint sketch that got rendered out later. This really looks like somebody was trying to fake the process. The line art is not the same. This is not the same line art. And like, it's not really often you would see an artist do line art, then start rendering and then completely redo the line art afterwards. They might clean it up, you know, but this is like completely different. It's almost as if the artist is not drawing with the same brushes that they drew in this picture, except if you drew this yourself, you would know what brushes you did, so you would get a similar looking result. Again, the biggest one is the background that looks, again, like it's done with a completely different brushes. So OP adds, the washed out colors tells me they attempted to color drop from the AI reference, but those do translate to your canvas properly. Line weights and line qualities are also completely different. And where did the shoulder sponsor go? They also posted a video of all their layers when they could just post a time lapse. This is so much effort to try to fake something. Also, they claimed the Lando and Landoscar fan arts, so where they're in the orange jersey and Lando was the one who was signing, are not their own and it was a college friend. Okay, So either one, it's like a fake process that you used AI for, and you're claiming you legitimately drew it, or two, it's your friend's artwork that you then were claiming you drew. They both are not good. To make it worse, allegedly there's some art theft involved too. Another artist says, that looks like my drawing, the little chibi. They even added the stars and the heart in the same place. And that this is Gojo's art and this is Nia Coffee's artwork. And somebody did an overlap, by the way. Why are the stars exactly the same? Like, what? 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 The Oscar chibi is not traced, but the Lando chibi most definitely is. The hair is exactly the same. Like, come on, man. Not only are they trying to pass AI generated stuff off as their own work, but they're also stealing people's work. And another user adds, I don't even want to go here, but I love how obvious it is that you traced over the AI generated image to pass off as your own. Here are some things OP highlights. The shoulder sponsor that's gone. Also note the difference in the shoulder rendering. The eyes are completely different. The background is also just different. Again, partially maybe benefit of doubt because they've been deleting, right? That maybe they were trying to show a midway point, so it's not as fully rendered, right? To be like, oh, this is my like midway sketch. It's like not the same mouth, bro. The background is the dead giveaway. Like basically, this is nowhere near this. These are nowhere near the same. Like the hat shape is completely different. The hair, again, the chest rendering, it again is like OP had amnesia and completely forgot what brushes they used. So as a result of this, Gojo deleted their account. All this happened in one day, in a couple hours, mind you, which is honestly wild. It is the quickest speed run. At least they're done. I mean, if you're gonna spend all this time like taking this AI work and trying to like reverse engineer it to make it look like you painted it, feel like the least you could have done is just, I don't know, learn how to draw yourself. What are your thoughts? Do you like watching F1? I, to be honest, don't know anything about F1. My friend is just a really, really, really big Oscar Piastri fan, so therefore, by proxy, I just know a bunch about Oscar Piastri specifically. And yeah, don't send hate to any parties involved. Don't go around claiming AI generated stuff is your work. Yippee, and don't steal from artists. So anyways, if you like this video, I appreciate it. If you like it, subscribe. Sorry for some stuff coming out a little late. Your girl was in Vancouver for 5 days, so I'm finally back. I literally landed like 2 hours ago. So yeah, hope to catch you guys in my Etsy shop where I have digital art for streamers and creators like emotes and overlays, a big frog set. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide. And I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. or Thursdays at 7:30. So I hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.